c'est une assassin.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Effizode 493. It's Thursday, April 4th, 2013, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus we bring you the segment News Random, where you may soon find it more difficult to find new sitcoms.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And North Korea has been jumping up and down and yelling and saying they're going to get us with nuclear bombs.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But experts say that is rhetorical bluster because they don't have the means to make good on that threat. Plus, if they attack the U.S., they'd be blown off the map. Yet, when people bring up the N-word, lots of people get nervous. The N-word means nuclear, if you weren't following this wonderful opus. But I sing to educate you. Oh, and another poll has shown something interesting.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Recent polls say more people are pro same-sex marriage, and they're also pro marijuana legalizing.
Mike's
52%
Daily
said marijuana should be legal.
Podcast.
You know, I smell it all over the place.
Yeah!
In the Bay Area, you can't walk 5 feet and go, oh, wait, was that a skunk that just passed in front of me? Nope. Someone's getting high. Oh, look who just walked in.
Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega.
Madam, what was that?
I don't know. I imploded on myself. It's very painful. But Michael Matthews, it's interesting that you bring up this story because the date 420 is coming soon.
Yes, April 20th, 420. The marijuana-related 3-number sequence is coming, so that would make people, want to give each other presents this year. It'd be so much better if those presents were legal.
Michael Matthews, I agree. Who else is coming in?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Look who it is.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the back attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Guys, are you afraid of Kim Jong-un and his whole, saying he's going to hit us with nuclear missiles?
If he did that, I'd be very irate.
Yeah, me too. Because nuclear missiles are like a pain in the butt.
They say that they don't even have a nuclear missile that could reach the United States mainland, possibly one of our distant territories closer to them, but not us.
Yeah, well, if he does that, he's gonna, make his friendship with Dennis Rodman a little bit more dicey day.
Yeah, I think he should rethink his strategy. Whop it Gangnam Style. Do you know that?
Oh, okay. Also, interesting news. Where we live here in Podcastro Valley is in the county of Alameda. And apparently, we are violators.
Michael Matthews, that is my favorite Depeche Mode album.
Well, be that as it may, Castro Valley had more burn violations than any county. In fact, it says here, Castro Valley is the only town in southern Alameda County that had people caught violating the no burn rules on Spare the Air days the past 3 winters, according to the FremontPatch.com. And we have that in the Bay Area. It's actually very effective, no burn days. It's very important to keep an eye on that. In fact, I've signed up for the emails to let me know when the no burn days are, because otherwise I just go out any beautiful day and start to barbecue, and if I use my fireplace, and you're not supposed to do that on a no burn day because otherwise our air gets all messed up. Since 2009, Alameda County residents have filed 1,479 complaints against their neighbors for burning wood on Spare the Air days. That makes things a little awkward on your street, in your neighborhood. Oh yeah, that next door squealed on me. Oh look, I got his mail accidentally. Oh look, something else to burn.
Mike, even I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's very uncouth. Do you know that?
You're right, guys. No, I wouldn't do that either, but I'll try to follow the Spare the Air days. and try and be a good Podcastrovalian, unlike a lot of Podcastrovalians are just burning away.
And speaking of burning away, 420.
Yeah, it's coming up in a couple days. Thank you for pointing that out, madam.
You're welcome.
If you find that I'm losing I'm going through puberty, it appears.
Yes, Mike and Ratio, that's not surprising.
Make sure to enjoy it this time day.
Yeah, Mike, puberty is not to be wasted. Do you know that?
All right. Well, I have no idea what that means either. So you can comment on what you think of this whole situation with Podcastro Valley burning illegally and people saying that they are for legalization of marijuana, or North Korea basically not having the goods to create Armageddon on America. What do you think about all that? You can comment on the email, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Email me there. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show. mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Also check out the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Go there. You can find links to where to listen to us in iTunes. And if you do go and listen to us in iTunes, make sure to rank this show and to comment on it so more people will find out about us. Also at mikesdailypodcast.com, you can find out where we are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Yelp. And we also have the blog and the podcast picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. Ooh, and you can find out what the Amazon deal of the day is and save money. And by clicking on that and buying stuff, you can help us make money. It all works out and makes everyone happy. mikesdailypodcast.com.
News random.
I read an article in Rolling Stone. This was actually about a month ago, where they were discussing the possibility of sitcoms dying. It says, with a graveyard of flops and 30 Rock and The Office signing off, you have to worry about the fate of the TV staple, by Rob Sheffield. Now, there was an article similar to this that we mentioned in News Random. Actually, I think we did a Wow Shuts Wow with that. Another fantastic segment we do here on Mike's Daily Podcast. But it was another article that was written in Entertainment Weekly. And Entertainment Weekly and Rolling Stone basically mirror each other in, so many ways. They are competing like crazy. It's so funny to watch how they come out with the exact same article, the exact same, piece on a hot starlet or a new group or another Adam Levine cover, whatever. They do this sort of thing over and over again, but they bring out this interesting topic about not only did 0% of this year's contenders, new sitcoms that came out, none of them became hits. Barely any of them survived the first season. And Rob says it's a sudden stop for the period that begins with Seinfeld and runs to the end of 30 Rock and The Office. The networks can still crank out their other staples, the domestic dramas, the cop procedurals. The results might just be competent formula, but when it comes to a new sitcom, even competent formula feels like a pipe dream. With no new hits on the horizon, you have to wonder where the next great sitcoms are coming from. There are long-running blockbusters like Big Bang Theory, and there are brilliant niche favorites like Community or Parks and Rec, but none of the new shows have been hits. There's been The New Normal, 1600 Penn, Animal Practice, Partners, Ben and Kate. Rob says, Jesus, just remembering the titles is like strolling through a Confederate graveyard. Some are officially dead, others are still walkers. Some had ambition or good intentions, others aimed straight down the middle of the plate, but they all shared the same template: labored, busy, expensive looking. They sweated so hard to impress you, they were exhausting to watch. There was no breathing room because every scene felt so overloaded, with each quip pushed to a hysterically unfunny level of loudness. What's wrong with loudness? The dialogue sounded like the whole writer's room collaborated on a coded suicide note. Unwatchable and unwatched. That's the new normal. I would like to add a complaint to that, Rob, and that would be that the dialogue on sitcoms is so fast now. It's so quick. It's like, we know these jokes aren't going to be funny, so we're going to try and cram as many possible funny jokes in what, because something's going to make somebody laugh. It becomes like Gilmore Girls sped up and force-fed mounds and mounds of speed. Now, I enjoyed the TV show that is now gone. It was a quote-unquote sitcom called the B in Apartment 3. Was that what it was? With the Kristen Ritter and the James Van Der Beek. That had some really funny moments where I was laughing out loud. New Girl has made me laugh at times. Modern Family. But I have a problem where I get so sucked into the formula that I'm just watching the formula happen and I'm not enjoying the jokes. It's almost like you have to watch it stoned, back to our original topic of marijuana legalization. But no, it shouldn't be. It should work on different levels and be funny. But then comedy is such a subjective thing. Some things just aren't working. It says here, finally, the freshman class of sitcoms couldn't figure out whether they wanted to be funny or popular, so they achieved neither. And that's the scary part. A sitcom that's funny and popular at the same time suddenly seems like too much to ask, which leaves Mike Matthews finding that all he watches anymore is Torchwood and Chopped. I don't know. Those shows aren't great either, as I was talking about Torchwood on yesterday's podcast. And Chopped is a reality competition TV show on Food Network trying to pull drama out of something that is not really a drama show at its heart, but more of a fascinating, oh my gosh, let's give them 4 ingredients and see if they can make anything out of these 4 completely unconnected ingredients. I like that premise. I just hate the formula. Once again, the formula ticks me off. I'd like the show if it wasn't trying to be Survivor in a kitchen. Survivor in a kitchen. That sounds like what's going to happen when I start cooking dinner in a little bit. As we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I've been thinking about Seattle lately and the beauty that I experienced going there in 2011. I need to go back, but I'm not going to go back to Seattle. I'm actually going for the first time to Portland. I can't wait to go. I'm going to go there next week. So I'll be missing a couple of Mike's Daily Podcast shows while I am there. But I am going to definitely get some Mike on mobiles recorded so I can play those back on the Mike's Daily Podcast and visit parts of Portland and report back to you in a travelogue blog podcast style for you. Just don't get wrapped up in the formula, because then you'll hate it like I do. I'm repulsed by formulae. But check out the picture of Pike's Place there on the Mike'sDailyPodcast.com.
Michael Matthews, Seattle is a beautiful little city, and I like to go there and meet my lover, Hans.
You have a lover named Hans?
Yes, it's Hans.
And you two have been seeing each other for how long?
It's been a while. He used to be an Eskimo. Oh,
Used to be?
yes, he's converted.
I don't think that's the... Well, say hi to Hans for me. I'd sure like to meet him sometime.
He's in Seattle.
And his name is...
Hans.
Wonderful. Valentino, are you amazed by these revelations that Madame Rootabega has revealed?
What? I was starting a barbecue day.
Yeah, and then we were getting arrested because we live in Podcastro Valley, California, where they have no burn days because of the Gestapo. Do you know that?
No, it's to keep the air clean.
Whatever.
Tomorrow we will bring you the segment into an interview where we're going to talk to a new artist from Nashville. She is fantastic. What a great voice. She's got some great songs. Her name is Courtney Jaye. In fact, she's going to be playing in San Francisco tomorrow at the Palace of Fine Arts. So check that out if you're in the Bay Area in San Francisco and it's Friday evening. Also, we will bring you the wonderful characters that show up here from time to time, and they will be here tomorrow. That time, tomorrow, whenever time you're listening to this show, you will hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer tomorrow.
I don't know. I imploded on myself. Hans.
Oh, madam, help is on the way.
So is 420.
Yes, that holiday is coming up. You know, you're like a calendar for potheads. You know, shifting gears here, and my friend who who sadly passed away, I think he would